Act 1 of Truculentus, the Churl, by Titus Macius Plautus. Translated by Henry Thomas Riley. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Dramatis Personae.
Stratophanes, a captain in the Babylonian service. Read by John Hunter.
Strabax, a young man from the country. Read by Inkel.
Dinarchus, a young Athenian. Read by Priamides.
Stratolax, the churl, the servant of Strabax. Read by Todd.
Callicles, an aged Athenian. Read by Adrian Stevens.
Getter, servant of Dinarchus. Read by Alan Mapstone.
Phronesium, a courtesan. Read by Agnes Robert Bear.
Astaphium, her servant. Read by Beeswax Candle.
Syrah, the female hairdresser of Phronesium. Read by Shrimpfish.
A maidservant of Callicles. Read by Sonia.
Stage directions read by Larry Wilson. Scene: Athens before the house of Phronesium and the father of Strabax. A very small portion of room does Plautus ask from out of your vast and pleasant city within the walls, whither without builders he may transport Athens. What then? Will you give it or not? They nod assent. I fancied indeed that I should obtain it of you without hesitation. What if I were to ask something of your private means? Ha ha ha, they shake their heads. Only see a faith how the ancient habit still indwells among you, to keep your tongues ever ready for a denial. But let's to the point, on account of which I came hither. Let this be Athens, just as this is our stage, only for the while that we perform this play. Here dwells a female whose name is Phronesium. She has in herself the manners of the present age. She never asks of her lover that which has been given, but what is left she does her best that it mayn't be left, by begging for it and carrying it off, as is the habit of the women. For all of them do this when they discover that they are loved. She is pretending to a captain that she has been brought to bed, that the more speedily she may sweep away his property from him every atom. Why say more? If the life of this woman should only last, he will be sweeping off his substance with his very life into her hands. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Dinarchus. Dinarchus to himself.
Not a whole life is sufficient for a lover thoroughly to learn, until he has become full well aware of this, in how many modes he may come to ruin. Nor does Venus herself, in whose hands lie the sum and substance of lovers, ever instruct us in that art of reckoning, in how many ways one in love may be deluded, in how many modes he may come to ruin, and with how many modes of entreaty he may be entreated. How many blandishments are there in it? How many pettish ways in it? How many perils must be courted? Ye gods, by our trust in you! Hey! What ground for perjury as well, besides the everlasting presence? In the first place, then, there's the yearly allowance. That's her first haul. For that the favor of 3 nights is granted. In the meantime she's trying for either money, or wine, or oil, or corn, to prove whether you are lavish or thrifty, just like the person that throws a casting net into a fish pond. When the net has gone and sunk, then he contracts the folds. But if he has rightly thrown it, he takes care that the fish may not escape. Then in this direction and that does he enfold the fish netted well, until he has taken them out of the water. Just so is the lover. If he gives that which is asked for, and is lavish rather than thrifty, nightly favors are given in addition. Meanwhile he swallows down the hook. If once he has partaken of the cup of love unmixed, and that draught has made its way within his breast, forthwith both himself is ruined, and his fortune and his credit. If the mistress is angry with her lover, perchance, doubly is the lover ruined, both in fortune and in mind. But if one man is preferable to another in her eyes, just as much as he ruins. If he enjoys but a few of her favors in mind, he is ruined. If he enjoys them in abundance, he himself is joyous. His fortunes are ruined. Thus is it in the houses kept by procurers. If you're given a single thing, she's preparing 100 to ask for. Either a golden trinket's lost, or a martel has been torn, or a female servant bought, or some silver vessel, or some vessel of brass, or expensive couch, or a Grecian cabinet, or there's always something to be lost, and for the lover to be replacing for his mistress. And with one common earnestness do we conceal these losses, while we are losing our fortunes, and our credit, and ourselves, lest our parents or our relatives should know something, whom, while we conceal it from them, if we were to make acquainted with it, for them in time to restrain our youthful age, we should be giving what has been received from them before to our descendants in reversion. I'd be for causing that as there are now more procurers and harlots, there should be fewer and fewer of spendthrift fellows than there are at present. For nowadays there are almost more procurers and harlots than flies at the time when it is most hot. For if they are nowhere else, the procurers with their harlots are around the bankers' shops each day as though on siege. That score is the principal one, inasmuch as I know for certain that nowadays there are more harlots ready for the money than there are weights for weighing it. And I really don't know what purpose to say it is to serve, that these procurers are thus keeping them at the bankers' shops, except as in the place of account books, where the sums lent on loan may be set down. The sums received, I mean, those expended let no one take count of. In fine, in a great nation, amid numberless persons, the state being tranquil and in quiet, the enemy vanquished, it befits all to be in love who have anything to give. Now this courtesan,
pointing to the house,
Phronisium, who dwells here, has totally expelled from my breast her own name, Phronisium. For Phronesis is wisdom. For I confess that I was with her first and foremost, a thing that's very disastrous to a lover's cash. The same woman, after she had found another out, a great spendthrift who would give her more, a Babylonian captain, whom the hussy said was troublesome and odious to her, forthwith banished me from the spot. He now is said to be about to arrive from abroad. For that reason has she now cooked up this device. She pretends that she has been brought to bed, that she may push me out of doors, and with the captain alone live the life of a jovial Greek. She pretends that this captain is the father of the child. For that reason does this most vile hussy need a palmed-off child. She fancies that she's deceiving me. Does she suppose that she could have concealed it from me, if she had been pregnant? Now I arrived at Athens the day before yesterday from Lemnos, whither I have been on an embassy from this place on the public service. But who's this woman? It's her servant maid Astaphium. With her too as well I've had some acquaintanceship.
Stands aside. Scene 2. Enter Astaphium from the house of Phronisium. Astaphium speaking to the servants within.
Listen at the door and guard the house, so that no one who comes may go away more loaded than he came, or who has brought empty hands into our house may take them full out of it.
To herself.
I know the ways of people. Such habits are the young men nowadays. For as soon as ever the jolly companions have arrived at the courtesan's houses, their plans are formed. When they've arrived indoors, some one of them is incessantly bestowing kisses on his mistress. While they are engaged, the others are pilfering. But if they see that anyone is observing them, they play some trick, by which to amuse the observer with pleasantry and sport. Full oft do they devour that belonging to us, just as the sausage-makers do. Upon my faith, this is the case. And some of the spectators...
To the audience.
Faith, you know full well that I tell no lie in this. There with them is the struggle and the valour to carry off a booty from the plunderers. But we again nicely give a like return to these robbers of us, for they themselves look on while we are heaping up their property. Indeed, of their own accord even do they themselves bring it to us.
Dinarchus apart.
In those words she's surely lashing myself, for I've been heaping up presents there.
Astaphium in answer to someone who calls from Phronesium's house.
I well recollect it. I' troth, his own self, if he's at home, I'll at once bring here with me.
Runs on. Dinarchus calling out.
Hello, Astaphium. Do stop a moment before you go away.
Who's calling me back?
You shall know. Look back this way.
Who is it?
One who wishes many a blessing to yourselves.
Give them then, if you wish us to have them.
I'll let you have them. Only do look back this way.
Oh dear, you're teasing wretched me to death, whoever you are.
Runs on.
Worst of women, stop.
Best of men, go on. You are troublesome.
Turns round.
Is that Dinarchus? Why, it is he.
He's going to your house. And do you give me your hand?
Holding out his.
In return, and walk together with me.
I am your servant, and am obedient to your command.
Gives her hand.
Yourself, how are you?
I'm well, and am holding by the hand one who's well. Since you've arrived from abroad, a dinner must be given.
You speak obligingly.
But prithee, do let me go whither she ordered me.
Withdrawing her hand. Dinarchus lets go her hand.
Be off then. But how say you?
What do you want?
He that you are on your road to. Who is it that you're going to fetch?
Akiva, the midwife.
You are an artful damsel.
I'm as usual, then. That's my practice.
You deceitful hussy. I've caught you detected in a lie.
How so, pray?
Because you said that you were going to bring his own self, and not herself. A woman, then, has been made out of a man. You are an artful one.
A conjurer.
But pray, tell me, Astaphium, who is this person? A new lover?
I think that you are a gentleman too much at his ease.
Why now do you think so?
Because you trouble yourself about things that don't concern your own clothing and food.
It's yourselves have made me a gentleman at ease.
Why so?
I'll explain it to you. I've lost my property. With my property you've robbed me of occupation. If I had preserved my property, there had been something with which I might have been occupied.
And do you suppose that you can possibly well manage the affairs of state, or those of love, on any other terms, without being a gentleman at ease?
It was she held a public employment, not I. You misinterpret me. But against the law, in spite of my tax paid for pasturage, she has received other cattle beside myself.
Most persons who manage their property badly do the same as you are doing. When they haven't wherewith to pay the tax, they blame the farmers of the taxes.
My pasturage contract with you turns out but badly. Now in its turn, I wish to have, according to my narrow circumstances, a little bit of arable land here with you.
Here is no arable, but the field is pasture land. If you desire some ploughing, you had better go to those who are in the habit of ploughing. We hold this public emolument, the right of pasturage. Those are farmers of other taxes.
Full well enough do I know both sides.
Your troth, it's that way you are a gentleman at ease, since you have been going wrong both in that direction and in this. But the acquaintance of which do you like the best?
You are the more exacting. But they are perjured. Whatever's given to them is lost outright, nor with themselves is there any show at all of it. You, if you gain anything, do at least drink and feast it away. In short, they are unprincipled. You are good-for-nothings, and full of airs.
All this abuse which, Dinarchus, you are uttering against us and them, you utter against yourself, both as respects us and them.
How's that?
I'll tell the reason. Because he who accuses another of dishonesty, him it behoves to look unto himself. You who are so prudent have got nothing from us. We, who are good-for-nothings, have got all out of you.
Oh, Astaphium, you were not in the habit of speaking to me in that fashion formerly, but courteously. when I myself possessed that which is now in your possession.
While he's alive, you may know a person. When he's dead, you may keep yourself quiet. I used to know you when you were alive.
Do you consider me to be dead?
Thee, how can it be plainer? He who formerly was esteemed a first-rate lover, for him to be bringing to his mistress naught but lamentations?
In faith, through your own faults it was done, who in former days were in haste to plunder me. You ought to have done it leisurely at that, unscathed I might last the longer for you.
A lover is like an enemy's fortress.
On what ground?
The sooner the lover can be taken by storm, the better it is for the mistress.
I confess it, but far different is the friend from the lover. In faith, for sure, the oldest friend's the best one possible for a man. In faith, my lands and tenements are not yet all gone.
Why then, prithee, are you standing before the door as a stranger and an alien? Do go indoors. Really, you are no stranger. For upon my faith, not one person this day does she love more in her heart and soul.
Aside.
If indeed you've got land and tenements.
Your tongues and talk are steeped in honey. Your doings and dispositions are steeped in gall and sour vinegar. From your tongues you utter sweet words. You make your lovers of bitter heart if any don't give you presents.
I've not learnt to say what's false.
It was not this liberality of mine that taught you to say what's false, but those niggardly fellows who are struggling against their appetites. You are a sly one, and the same artful coaxer that you used to be.
How ardently longed for have you returned from abroad. But prithee do come. My mistress wants to see you.
How so, pray?
You alone of all mankind does she love.
Then Arcas aside.
Well done, lands and tenements. You have come to my aid in good time.
To Astaphium.
But how say you, Astaphium?
What do you want?
Is Phronesium indoors just now?
To you, at all events, she's indoors.
Is she well?
I faith. And I do believe she'll be still better when she sees you.
This is our greatest fault. When we're in love, then we are undone. If that which we wish is told us, when manifestly they are telling lies, in our folly we believe it to be true. Verily, as though with a tide we fluctuate.
Nay, day now. Such is not the fact.
Do you say that she loves me?
Aye, you only. Alone.
I heard that she was brought to bed.
Oh, prithee, Dinarchus, do hold your tongue.
Why so?
I shudder in my alarm. As often as mention is made of childbirth, with such difficulty as Phronesium survived for you. Prithee, do come indoors now. Do go to see her and wait there a little. She'll be out just now, for she was at the bath.
What do you say? She who was never pregnant, how could she be brought to bed? For really, I never, that I am aware of, perceived her to be in a breeding state.
She concealed it from you and was afraid, lest you should persuade her to have recourse to abortion and so destroy the child.
Troth, then, who's the father of this child?
A Babylonian captain whose arrival she is now expecting. So much so, indeed, that according as was reported, they say that he'll be here just now. I wonder he has not arrived by this.
Shall I go in, then?
Why not? As boldly as at home into your own house. For even still are you now one of us, Dinarchus.
How soon are you on your return?
I'll be there this instant. It's close at hand where I was going.
But do return directly. Meanwhile, I'll wait for you at your house.
He goes into the house of Phronesium. Scene 3. Astaphium alone.
I am at rest since my plague has gone indoors. Now, indeed, I shall speak according to my own inclination, freely as I please. My mistress has sung a funeral dirge at our house for this fellow, her lover, over his estate, for his lands and tenements are mortgaged for his treats and his amour. But with him does my mistress speak freely upon the objects of her plans, and so he is rather a friend by way of counsel to her then by way of maintenance. While he had it, he gave. Now he has got nothing. What he did have, we have got. What we had, he has now got the same. The common course of things has happened. Fortunes are wont to change upon the instant. Life is checkered. We remember him as rich, and he us as poor. Our reminiscences have shifted places. He must be a fool to wonder at it. If he is in want, it's necessary that he should allow us to make a living. That's proper to be done. 'Twere a disgrace for us to have compassion on men that squander away their fortunes. A clever procuress ought to have good teeth, to smile upon whoever comes, to address them in flattering terms, to design mischief in her heart, but to speak fairly with her tongue. A courtesan it befits to be like a briar, whatever man she touches, for either mischief or loss certainly to be the result. A courtesan ought never to listen to the plea of a lover, but when he has nothing to give, do you pack him off home from service as a deserter. And never is any gallant good for anything unless he's one who is the enemy of his own fortune. It's trifling if, when he has just given, he doesn't take a pleasure in giving afresh. That person's esteemed with us who forgets that that has been given which he has given. As long as he has anything, so long let him go on loving. When he has got nothing, then let him look out for another employment. If he himself has got nothing, let him with a contented mind make way for others who have. He's a proper lover who, neglecting his affairs, squanders away his property. But among themselves the men declare that we act ill and are greedy. Prithee, do we in fact at all act ill? For by my troth, never did any lover whatever give enough to his mistress, nor i' faith have we ever received enough, nor has any woman ever asked for enough. For when a gallant is barren with his gifts, if he denies that he has anything to give alone, nor do we receive enough when a person has not enough to give us. It is ever our duty to look after fresh givers, who take from untouched treasures and make presents to us. Just like this young man from the country who dwells here.
Pointing to the house where Strabax lives.
I'faith, a very pleasant creature and a very bounteous giver. But he, without the knowledge of his father, even this very last night, leapt over the wall by way of the garden, and came to our house. I wished to meet with him. But one servant has he, a very great savage, who when he sees any one of us near the door, if you approach that way, drives us off, just as he scares the geese away with the noise from the corn. He's such a bumpkin. But come what may, I'll knock at the door.
Knocks at the door and calls.
Who, I wonder, has the keeping of this door? Is anybody coming out from indoors?
Scene 4. Enter Stratylix from the house of the father of Strabax.
Who's this that's so sturdily plying his battering ram against our door?
It's I. Look round at me.
Who's I?
Am I not seen by you?
Strabax, turning to her.
Woe worthy! What mean you by this coming so near this door? Or why's this knocking?
Health to you.
And now what thy health have I? I care not for't. I've got no health. I'd rather be sick than be a bit the sounder with health from thee. This I want to know. What's owing thee here in our house?
Do keep close.
Yea, faith, to my own good woman I trust. Let him keep close to thee whose habit 'tis. A fine rare joke. A silly hussy to be tempting a countryman to naughty tricks.
Keep close your anger, I meant.
As thee'st begun with me, so I didn't lay a wager there's not another like thee.
Astaphium, half to herself.
Really, this fellow's very churlish.
Woman, dost thee go on abusing me?
Why? What did I say to you?
Why, because thee dost call me churlish. Therefore now, if thee doesn't be off this instant, and tell me quickly what thee want'st, adzookas, woman, I'll be, here this very instant, trampling thee beneath my feet like a sow her piglings.
This is indeed right country, and no mistake. 'Tis an abominable and truly a monkey race.
Stratolex, holding up his fist.
Dost thee throw the country in my teeth, when thee hast found a man who's ashamed of what's foul? Hast thee come hither to tempt me with thy decked-out bones? Was it for that, shameless slut, thee dyed thy mantle of its smoke-dried colour, or art thee so fine because thee's been a-stealing? Come thee towards me, then.
Now you charm me.
How much I wish I could charm thee.
You tell a lie.
Tell me.
What?
What I ask thee. Dost thee wish to be taken for a bondswoman, who dost carry on thee those rings?
Pointing to her fingers.
They give them to those who are worthy.
These are the spoils of Laverna which thee dost possess.
Lays hold of her.
Don't be touching me.
Moving away.
I touch thee? So help me my weeding hoe, I'd rather in the country for me, to be harnessed like an ox with crumpled horns, and with it spend the lifelong night upon the straw, than 100 nights with thee, with a dinner apiece, were given me for nothing. But what business, woman, hast thee at our house? Why dost thee come running this way as often as we come to town?
I want to meet with your women.
What woman art thee talking to me about, when there's not even a single woman fly within the house?
What? Does no woman live here?
They've gone into the country, I say. Be off.
Why are you bawling out, you lunatic?
If thee doesn't make haste to get away from this with prodigious speed, I'll forthwith be separating even from thy brains those falsified, daintily arranged, corkscrew curls of thine, with all their grease as well.
For what reason, pray?
Why, because thee hast even presumed to approach our door, anointed up with thy unguents, and because thee hast those cheeks so nicely painted pink.
I troth, it was by reason of your clamour that I had coloured in my alarm.
And is it so? Thee coloured? As though, hussy, thee really hadst left to thy skin the power of receiving any colour. Redden up thy cheeks, thee hast given all thy skin its colour with chalk. Ye are scoundrelly jades. What's the reason, abominable hussies, that this way? I know more than thee thinkest I know.
Prithee, what's this that you know?
How Strabex, my master's son, is ruining himself at your house. How you are all enticing him to fraud and present-making.
If you appeared in your senses, I'd tell you. You're uttering abuse only. Not a person is in the habit of being ruined here at our house. They waste their property. When they've wasted their property, they may go bare thence, if they choose. I don't know this young man of yours.
Indeed so.
In sober truth.
Aye, but that garden wall that's in our garden says so, which is becoming every night less by a brick, over which he travels to your house on the road to destruction.
Yes, the wall's an old one. It isn't wonderful if the bricks, being old, do tumble down.
And says thee, hussy, that old bricks do tumble down? By my figs, may never any mortal man henceforth trust me upon the 2 grand points, if I don't inform of these goings-on of yours to my elder master.
Is he a savage as well?
Why, he didn't get his money by enriching harlots, but by thriftiness, and living hard. which now, however, is being carried off to you, abominable jades.
Takes her by the shoulders and shakes her.
There's for thee, six-clawed hussy, a wretched life to both of ye. Am I to keep mum about these matters? But look ye now, I'll be off to the forum at once, and tell these goings-on to the old gentleman, that he mayn't somehow be cherishing within this matting a whole swarm of misfortunes.
Exit. Astaphium to herself.
On my faith, if this fellow were living on mustard, I don't think he could possibly be as snappish. But in troth, how much a well-wisher to his master he is. Still, although he is a savage, I trust that he can be changed by coaxing, allurements, and other arts of the courtesan. I've seen a horse from unruly become tamed, and other brutes as well. Now I'll go back to see my mistress. But see my plagues coming out.
The door of Phronesium's house is opened.
He's coming out with a sad air. He hasn't even yet had a meeting with Phronesium.
Scene 5. Enter Dinarchus from Phronesium's house.
I do believe that the fishes, that are always bathing as long as they live, do not take so long in bathing as this Phronesium does in bathing. If women could be loved on as long as they take in bathing, all lovers would be becoming bath-keepers.
Can't you endure waiting for a short time even?
Why, upon my faith, I'm wretchedly tired with waiting already.
I as well shall be obliged to go bathe from weariness.
But in faith, Astaphium, prithee do go indoors and tell her that I'm here. Do go in once and persuade her that she has bathed long enough by this.
Very well.
Going.
And do you hear as well?
What do you want?
Comes back.
May the gods confound me for calling you back. I had nothing to say to you, only do be off.
Why did you call me back then, you worthless and good-for-nothing fellow? A delay to me which has produced fully a mile's delay to you.
Goes into the house of Phronesium. Dinarchus to himself.
But yet why was she standing here so long before the house? Someone, I don't know who, she certainly was waiting for. The captain, I suppose. That's it. See now, how just like vultures, a whole 3 days beforehand they foresee on what day they are to have a feast. They're all agape for him, on him all their minds fixed. No one will be giving any more attention to myself when he comes, than if I had been dead 200 years ago. How delightful a thing it is to keep one's money. Ah, wretched me! After it's done, I'm punished, who lost what I once had. But now, if any great and splendid fortune should chance to fall on my lot now, after I know it, what sweets and what bitter come of money. By my troth, I'd so keep it. I'd live in a manner so sparing that, in a few days, I'd make there to be none at all. I'd then confute those who now censure me. But I perceive that this tide-like door is opening.
The door of Phronesium's house is opened.
Which sucks up whatever comes within its bolts.
Scene 6. Enter Phronesium from her house.
Please now, is my door apt to bite, that you are afraid to come in, my love?
Dinarchus aside.
Behold the spring, how all blooming it is, how fragrantly does it smell, how brightly does it shine.
Why so ill-mannered, as not on your arrival from Lemnos, to give a kiss to your mistress, my Dinarchus?
Dinarchus aside.
Oh dear, by my troth, I'm being punished now, and most terribly.
Why do you turn yourself away?
My greetings to you, Phronesium.
Greetings to you as well. Will you dine here today, as you have arrived in safety?
I'm engaged.
Where will you dine, then?
Wherever you request me. Here.
You'll give me pleasure by doing so.
They take their places at a collation spread before the house.
In troth, myself still more. You'll give me your company today, I suppose, my Phronesium?
If it could possibly be done, I would.
Give me my shoes, then. Make haste. Remove the table.
Are you in your senses, pray?
By heavens, I cannot drink now. So sick at heart am I.
Stay. Something shall be done. Don't go.
Ah, you've refreshed me with cold water. My senses have now returned. Take off my shoes. Give me something to drink.
By my faith, you are just the same that you used to be. But tell me, have you sped successfully?
In troth, successfully enough, indeed, hither to you, inasmuch as I enjoy the opportunity of seeing you.
Embrace me, then.
With pleasure.
He embraces her.
Oh, this is honey sweeter than sweet honey. In this, Jove, my fortune does exceed thine own.
Won't you give me a kiss?
Aye, 10 even.
Kisses her.
You are not niggardly in that. You promise more than I ask of you.
Turns away her head.
I only wish that from the first I had been as sparing of my property, as you are now thrifty of your kisses.
If I could possibly cause you any savings, I troth I could wish it done.
Have you bathed, then?
I troth indeed I have, then, to my own satisfaction, and that of my eyes. Do I seem loathsome to you?
In faith, not to myself, indeed. But I remember that there was once a time when between ourselves we were loathsome the one to the other. But what doing of yours is this I've heard upon my arrival? What new matter have you been scheming here in my absence?
Why, what is it?
In the first place, that you've been blessed with children, and that you've safely got over it. I'm delighted.
Phronisium to some attendants near the door.
Go you, away from there into the house, and shut the door.
They go in and shut the door.
You now alone are left to be present at my communication. To you I've ever entrusted my designs. For my own part, I've neither had any child nor have I been pregnant. But I've pretended that I was pregnant. I wasn't, though.
For what reason, O my life?
On account of a Babylonian captain, who kept me as though his wife for a year, while he was here.
That I knew. But what means this? For what purpose was your design in pretending this?
That there might be a certain bond and tie, for him to be returning to me again. Now he has lately sent me a letter hither, that he'll make a trial how much I value him. If I should raise and bring up the child, which I should bear, that then I should have all his property.
I listen with pleasure. In fine, what is it you are contriving?
My mother ordered the servant maids since now, the 10th month is arriving close at hand, each to go in some different direction, to seek out and bespeak a boy or girl, to be passed off as my own. Why need I make many words? You know Syrah, the female hairdresser, who now lives hard by our house.
I know her.
She, with the utmost care, went about among the families, and secretly found out a child, and brought it to me. She said it was given to her.
Oh, shocking traffic! She then hasn't borne this child, who at first did bear it, but you who come afterwards.
You have the whole matter in its order. Now as the captain has sent a message before to me, he'll be here no long time hence.
Now, in the meantime, you are treating yourself here as though one who had just lain in.
Why not? When without trouble, the matter can be nicely managed. It's proper that everyone should be alive at his own trade.
What's to become of me when the captain comes? Forsaken, can I live without you?
I've got from him that which I want. I shall easily find a way how to create discord and a separation between us. After that, my delight, I shall be always at your side.
Aye, faith, but I'd rather it were at my couch.
Moreover, I wish to sacrifice today to the deities for the child, on this the 5th day, as is proper to be done.
I think you ought.
Can't you venture to give me some trifling present?
Upon my faith, my delight, I seem to be making a gain for myself when you ask anything of me.
Phronisium aside.
And I, when I've got it.
I'll take care it shall be here just now. I'll send my servant hither.
Do so.
But whatever it shall be, do take it in good part.
Ay, true, for I'm sure that you'll give all attention to your present, of which I shan't be ashamed, so long as you send it to me.
Do you wish anything else of me?
That when you have leisure, you'll come again to see me.
Fare you well.
Farewell.
Goes into her house. Donarchus to himself.
O immortal gods! 'Twere the part not of a woman in love, but of a partner of kindred feelings and confiding, to do what she just now has done for me, in disclosing to me the palming of the child upon the captain, a thing that a sister entrusts not to her own born sister. She discloses herself now to me from her very soul, that she will never prove faithless to me so long as she exists. Ought I not to love her? Ought I not to wish her well? I'll rather not love myself than that love should be wanting for her. Shall I not send her a present? This instant, then, I'll order 5 minae to be brought to her from my house, besides catering to the amount of mina at least. Much rather shall kindness be shown to her who wishes kindly to me, than to myself, who do every mischief to myself.
Exit. End of Act 1. Act 2, A Truculentus the Churl, by Titus Magius Plautus. Translated by Henry Thomas Riley. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 2, Scene 1. Enter Phronesium from her house. Phronesium speaking at the door to the servants within.
Give the breast to that child.
To herself, coming forward.
How wretchedly and anxiously our mothers, distressed in mind. I faith 'twas craftily contrived, and when I revolve this matter in my mind, we are accounted to be much less artful than we naturally are in disposition. I am now speaking of what but lately, for the first time, I have been taught at home. How great is my anxiety of mind, what pangs I do feel in my heart, lest through the death of the child the plot should fail. Because I am styled its mother, for that reason I am the more anxious for its life, who have ventured thus secretly to attempt a stratagem so great. In my avarice, for the sake of gain, have I entered on this disgraceful scheme. The pangs of others I have falsely shammed for myself. You must attempt nothing by craftiness, unless you would carry it out with cunning and with care.
To the audience.
You yourselves now see in what garb I go. I am now pretending that I am an invalid, from having lain in, a thing that a woman attempts to do in fraud, unless she is perfect in carrying it out. That same is as bad as disease to her. That same is as bad as old age to her. That to her, wretched creature is wretchedness. If she begins to do what's right, soon does weariness of it overtake her. How very few are tired who have commenced to do what's wrong. How very few carry it out, if they have commenced to do anything aright. To a female it is a much less burden to do bad than good. In that I am an artful one, through the agency of my mother, and my own artful disposition. Am I artful, who have thus feigned to the Babylonian captain that I am pregnant? I wish now the captain may find this artful plot concocted well. He'll be here no long time hence, I suppose. Forewarned of that, I'm now forearmed, and I'm wearing this garb, as though I had just lain in pregnancy.
Calls to the servants within.
Bring me hither some myrrh and fire for the altar, that I may pray adoration to my Lucina.
They bring it.
Place it here.
Pointing to an altar near the door.
And go out of my sight. Ho there, Pythachium, help me to lay me down. Come hither, thus it is proper to help one who has just lain in.
A couch is brought in by Astaphium and 2 handmaids, and she lays herself down.
Take off my sandals. Throw a coverlet here over me, Archelaus. Astaphium, where are you? Bring me hither holy herbs, frankincense and sweetmeats. Bring water for my hands.
The servants go and fetch the things, as ordered.
Now, I faith I could wish that the captain should come.
The servants stand aside. Scene 2. Enter Stratophanes at a distance, followed by a servant and several female slaves. Stratophanes to the audience.
Don't you be expecting, spectators, that I should recount my combats. With my hands in battle, I'm wont to recount them, and not in words. I know that many a soldier have told lies, both the Homeric poetlings and 1,000 others beside them could be named, who have both been convicted and condemned for their sham battles. He's not to be commended who trusts any other further than he sees. It pleases me not when those commend more who hear than those who see. Of more value is one eye-witness than 10 hearsays. Those who hear speak of what they've heard. Those who see know beyond mistake. I like him not whom the town gossips are praising, and the men of his maniple are mum about, nor yet those whose tongues at home make blunt the edge of our swords. The valiant are much more serviceable to the public than the eloquent and skilled. Valour easily finds for itself a fluent eloquence. Without valour, for my own part, I esteem an eloquent citizen as a hired mourner, who praises other people but can't do the same for herself. Now, after 10 months, I am come to Athens of Attica to see my mistress, how she gets on, whom I left pregnant by my embrace.
Phronisium, raising herself on the couch and speaking to Astaphium.
See who's talking.
Astaphium coming forward and looking about.
The captain's close at hand, my mistress Phronisium. Stratophanes is coming to you. Now is it requisite for you to pretend yourself an invalid?
Hold your tongue. What the plague do I want you for as an adviser in this matter? Is it possible to excel myself in craftiness?
Stratophanes to himself.
Madam's brought to bed, as I fancy.
Would you like me to accost the gentleman?
I wish you.
Astaphium moves forward.
Oh, delightful! Why, see, here's Astaphium coming to meet me.
Astaphium affecting surprise.
By all the powers! Welcome to you, Stratophanes, that you are safe arrived.
I know it all. But, prithee, has Phronisium been brought to bed?
She has been delivered of a very fine boy.
Is it like me at all?
Do you ask the question? Why, the moment it was born it asked for a sabre and shield for itself.
It is my own. I know it at once from the proofs.
Indeed, it is extremely like you.
Ye gods above! Is it of full growth already? Has it already chosen some army which it intends to plunder?
Why, really? It was only born 5 days ago.
What then? After it was born? After so many days? If faith, something really ought by this time to have been done. What business had it to leave the womb before it could go forth to battle?
Follow me and wish her joy and congratulate her.
I follow.
They move to the other side of the stage.
Prithee, where is she who has left me here and forsaken me?
I am here. I'm bringing you Stratophanes, so much longed for by you.
Prithee, where is he?
Stratophanes going close to the couch.
Mars, on his arrival from abroad, salutes Nereid his spouse. Since you've well got over it, and since you've been blessed with offspring, I congratulate you, in that you have given birth to a great glory to me and to yourself.
Welcome to you, you who have almost deprived me of life and light, and who have, for your own gratification, centered in my body the cause of great anguish, with the pangs of which I am even now dreadfully afflicted.
Well, well, not to your misfortune, my love. Do these pains befall you? You've brought forth a son who will be filling your house with plunder.
By the powers, There's very much greater need to have our granaries well filled with wheat, lest before he takes the plunder, hunger should be putting an end to us here.
Be of good heart.
Do please, take a kiss from me here. I cannot lift up my head. Such pain I have felt, and in such pain I now am. And I cannot as yet, of my own strength, walk upon my feet.
Stratophanes stooping down and kissing her.
If, right from the middle of the sea, you were to order me to take a kiss from you, I would not hesitate to fetch it, my sweet. You've experienced it already, so to be, and now shall you experience it, my Phrenicium, that I do dote upon you.
Pointing to a distance behind him.
See, there! I've brought you 2 female slaves from Syria. I present you with them.
To a servant behind him.
Do you bring these women this way? Now these were both of them queens in their own homes, but with my own hand I laid waste their country. I present you with them.
Handing them forward to her.
Are you dissatisfied with the number of female slaves I have already? That you must be still making additions to the number, to be devouring food for me?
I troth, if this indeed isn't acceptable to you, you boy,
beckoning to the servant,
do you give me that bag? See here, my love, I've brought this mantle from Panchaea for you. Take it for yourself.
He presents it to her.
What? Is so little as this to be given to me in return for pain so great?
Stratophanes aside.
Faith, to my misfortune, I am undone. My son's already costing me his weight in gold.
To Phrenicium.
Do you still set such little value on me? I've brought you a purple garment from Sara, and 2 pretty ones from Pontus.
Takes the garments from the servant and presents them.
Take this for yourself, my love.
To the servant.
Take those Syrian women hence out of my sight.
The servant takes them into the house.
Do you love me at all?
Not at all, I faith. Nor do you deserve it.
Stratophanes aside.
What, is nothing enough for her? Really, to myself she hasn't even said one word. I do believe that these presents would sell for more than 20 minae, which I have given her. Now she's desperately enraged with me. I perceive and understand it, but I'll address her still.
To Phrenicium.
What say you then? Do you wish me, my love, to go to dinner where I was invited, and after that to return hither to your house to sleep? Why are you silent?
Aside.
I troth, beyond a doubt, I'm undone. But what fine affair is this? Who's this fellow that's leading such a long train? I'm resolved to watch whither they are taking it. It's being brought to her, I do believe, but I'll soon know more.
He stands at a distance. Scene 3. Enter Geta at a distance, followed by slaves with presents from Dinarchus.
Get on! Get on this way together with you. Mules laden with money only to be squandered. You emptiers out of the house. You carriers off of property by wagon loads.
To the audience.
And can't he who is in love do without being good for naught, and cleaning himself out by his disgraceful practices? But how I know this, don't anyone be asking that of me. We've a lover at home who's engaged in disgraceful pursuits, who esteems property just as dung. He's in dread of the public officers. Most cleanly in his ways is he. He wishes his house to be cleaned out. Whatever he has at home, it's swept completely dehors. Since he himself is sending his own self to ruin, for my part, i' faith, I'll help him by stealth, and not through my assistance, indeed, shall he be ruined e'en a bit the less speedily than he may. For now, from these provisions, from the one mina I've just now abstracted 5 didrachma. I've deducted for myself the Herculean share. But this is just like as though a person should turn off a stream for himself from a river. If it is not turned off into a channel, still all that water would go into the sea. For this is going into the sea, and is being utterly wasted to no good purpose whatever. When I see these things going on, I pilfer, I purloin, from plunder I plunder take. I take a harlot to be just like what the sea is. What you give her she swallows down, and yet never overflows. But this at least the sea does preserve. What's in it is seen. Give her as much as ever you please, it's never seen either by the giver or the acceptor. For instance, this harlot, by her blandishments, has reduced my poor master to poverty, has robbed him of fortune, life, honour, and friends.
Catching sight of her.
Hey day, why, look, she's close by. I do think she has heard me saying all this. She's pale, as she has been delivered of a child. I'll address her as though I didn't know her.
Addressing Phoenicium.
I present you my respects.
Argetta, what is it you're about? How are you?
I'm well, and I'm come to one who's not so well, and I'm bringing something with which she may get well. My master, the apple of your eye, bade me bring these presents to you, which you see those persons carrying, and these 5 minae of silver.
I faith it's not thrown away, that I'm so very fond of him.
He bade me beg that you would accept these in kind part.
I troth, I do accept them kindly and thankfully.
To Caiamus, who comes out of the house.
Go see him, miss, and order them to be taken indoors. Do you hear at all this which has been ordered?
The servants take up the things.
I don't want them to take away the vessels. I'd like to have them emptied.
An impudent fellow, I faith. How busy he is.
What? Do you say that I'm impudent? You who yourself are a receptacle of villainy?
Tell me, I beg of you, where is Dinarchus?
At home.
Tell him that for these presents, which he has sent me, I love him the most of all men, and that in return I hold him in the highest esteem of all, and entreat that he will come hither to me.
This instant. But who's that person, pray?
Looking towards Stratophanes.
That's devouring himself, scowling with malignant eyes. Faith, the man's distressed in his mind, whoever he is.
I troth he's deserving of it.
What's the matter?
Prithee, don't you know? He that's yonder used to live with me. He there is the father of my child. He ordered it to be brought up till about a before daylight breakfast. I waited his coming. I listened to his injunctions. I attended the child.
The good-for-nothing fellow that I knew so well, prithee, is that he?
That's he.
He looks at me as he groans. He heaved a sigh from the very bottom of his breast. Observe that now he gnashes his teeth, he strikes his thigh. Prithee, is he deranged that he's beating his own self?
Stratophanes coming forward.
Now will I at once summon up my ungovernable indignation and my wrath from my breast.
To Geta.
Say, whence are you? To whom do you belong? Why have you dared to speak rudely against me?
It's my pleasure.
Do you answer me in that way?
In this way?
Snaps his fingers.
I don't care one straw for you.
Stratophanes to Phrenesium.
What say you? Why have you dared to say that you love another man?
I choose to.
Say you so, indeed? I'll first make trial of that. Do you, for the sake of such a shabby present, vegetables and comestibles and vinegar water, bestow your love upon an effeminate, frizzle-pated, dark-haunt-frequenting, drum-dubbing debauchee? A fellow not worth a nutshell.
What new thing's this? Do you dare, you rogue, to speak ill of my master, you springhead of vice and perjury?
Add a single word to that, by the powers, I'll that instant herewith this cut you up into mincemeat upon the spot.
Shaking his sword at him.
Only touch me. I'll that instant be making a lamb of you on the spot, and I'll slice you sunder in the middle. If you have the renown of a warrior with your troops, still I'm a Mars in the kitchen.
Phronesium to Stratophanes.
If you did the thing that's right, you'd not be abusing my visitors, whose gifts I hold as acceptable and pleasing, and your own which I have received of you as unacceptable.
Then I've faith. I'm both deprived of my presence and undone as well.
Clearly it is so.
Why then are you now here, with your annoyance, who confess that you are worsted in every point?
Stratophanes aside.
I've faith. I'm this day undone if I don't drive this fellow away from you.
He approaches Gaeta. Gaeta holding up his fist.
Only approach this way. Only step this way.
Scoundrelly fellow, threatening even, whom this very, very, very instant I'll be chopping up into splinters. What business have you coming here? What business have you to approach her?
Pointing to Phrenesium.
What business have you, I say, to be knowing my mistress? You shall die this instant if you make the slightest movement with your hand.
Why shouldn't I move my hand?
Do as I command. Stop. I'll this instant cut you up into mincemeat on this spot.
Gaeta aside.
I'm done for.
'Twere best to be off.
It's a ticklish point. You have a longer sword there than this.
Pointing to a knife in his girdle.
But just let me go seek a spit, if indeed I must be having a battle with you. I'll be off home. Warrior, for me and you, I'll choose an impartial judge.
Aside.
But why am I delaying to betake myself off hence, while with a safe inside I may?
Exit. Scene 4. Phrenesium and Stratophanes. Phrenesium to her servants.
Give me my sandals, and take me at once indoors, for my head aches shockingly from the air.
What's to become of me, to whom the 2 female slaves cause ache enough, with which I presented you?
Phrenesium is led into the house.
Are you off, then? Well, this one's used in return. How can you possibly shut me out?
The door is slammed to.
Prithee, can anything be more clear than that I'm now shut out? I'm finely fooled. Be it so. With how little difficulty.
Placing his foot against the door.
Might I now be persuaded to break the ankles of this entire mansion? Do the manners of covetous woman change at all? Since she has brought forth a son, she has plucked her spirit up. Now it's as though she said to me, I neither ask you nor forbid you to come into the house. But I won't. I shan't go. I'll make her to be saying in a very few days that I'm a cruel man.
To his attendants.
Follow me this way. A word's enough.
Exit. End of Act 2. Act 3 of Truculentus the Churl by Titus Macius Plautus. Translated by Henry Thomas Riley. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 3, Scene 1. Enter Strabax. Strabax to himself.
One morning, a short time since, my father ordered me to go hence, to deal out the mast for food for the oxen. After I got there, a person arrived at the farmhouse, so it pleased the gods, who was owing money to my father, who had formerly purchased some Tarentine sheep of my father. He asked for my father. I said he was in the city. I inquired what he wanted with him. The fellow takes a purse from off his neck and gives me 20 minae. With pleasure I receive them, and stow them in my purse. These bad sheep, the minae, have I brought in my purse hither to the city. By my troth, Mars has proved very angry with my father, for sheep are not very far away from the wolves. Now, with this one stroke, shall I send adrift these finical town gallants, and be bundling them all out of doors. My father, in the first place, I am quite resolved to ruin, root and branch. Then next in turn, my mother. Now today I'll carry this money to her whom I love more than my own mother.
Goes towards the door of Phrenesium and knocks.
Hello there. Is anyone here? There's not a woman. Is anyone going to open this door?
Astaphium opens the door.
Why so a stranger? Pray, my dear Strabax, why don't you come in at once? Ought you to have been doing so, you indeed who are so intimate?
I'll go in then, that you mayn't think I'm loitering.
Goes into the house.
You act obligingly.
Scene 2. Enter Stratilex. Stratilex to himself.
It seems marvellous to me that Strabax, my master's son, hasn't returned from the country, unless perchance he has slyly slipped in here into this den of corruption of his.
Astaphium aside.
No, faith. He'll be roaring at me if he espies me.
I'm much less savage now, Astaphium, than I was before. I'm not churlish now. Don't thee fear.
She runs to a distance.
What wouldst thee be at? What?
What say you? Why, I'm waiting for your churlishness.
Say, command me what thee dost please, and in what way thou dost please. I've got all my manners anew. My old ones I've parted with. I can even fall in love, or take a mistress now.
Upon my faith, you do tell me fine news. But tell me, have you...
A mistress, perhaps, thee means?
You've understood nicely what I meant to say.
Hark you, since I've been so many times backward and forwards to the city, I've become quite a chatterer. I'm now a right good stalker.
Prithee, what's that? That's nonsense. Perhaps you intend to mean talking.
Just so. It differs mighty little from stalking.
Prithee, do follow me indoors, my love.
Stratilex holding out some money to her.
Take this for thyself. Keep it as a ledger for thee, that thee mayest give me thy company this night.
Astaphium taking the money.
You are the death of me, with your ledger. What kind of beast am I to say that is? Why don't you say pledge?
The R I make a savings of, just as the Praenestines have conia for coconia.
Prithee, do follow me.
I'll wait here a little for Strabax, till he comes from the farm.
Why? Strabax is at our house. He has just come from the farm.
What, before he went to his own mother? Alas, the man's worth naught, i' faith.
What now? Your old habit?
Well, I'll say not.
Prithee, do come indoors. Give me your hand.
Takes his hand.
Well, take it.
To the audience.
Oh, I'm being led off into a public house, where I shall be but poorly entertained for my money.
They go into the house of Phronesium. End of Act 3. Act 4 of Truculentus, the Churl, by Titus Maccius Plautus. Translated by Henry Thomas Riley. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 4, Scene 1. Enter Dinarchus. Dinarchus to himself.
There's not a person born, nor will there be born, nor can there be found one, to whom I would now wish praises to be given, or on whom attentions bestowed, rather than on Venus. Ye great gods, how joyous I am, and how I'm transported with joyousness! Such great tidings of joy has Siamus brought to me this day, that my presents have been esteemed and deemed acceptable by Phronesium. While this is now a delight, then besides this in especial is rare honey drink to me, that the captain's presents are held so disagreeable and not acceptable. I'm all enraptured. The ball's my own. If the captain's sent adrift, the woman will be mine. I'm saved, because I'm going to ruin. If I didn't go to ruin, it's clear I should die. Now I'll keep watch. What's going on there? Who goes into the house? Who comes out of doors? From here at a distance will I observe what is to be my lot. Because I've got nothing, my feelings remind me of one thing. I'll do everything by begging.
Scene 2. Enter Astaphium from the house of Phronesium. Astaphium speaking to her mistress as she comes out.
I'll cleverly do my duty, mistress. Do you only take care that indoors you do yours as well. Love that which you ought, your own interest. Clean that fellow thoroughly out. Now, while it pleases the fellow, while he's got something, adapt the opportunity to that purpose. Display all your charms to your lover that you may heighten his joys. I, meantime, will stay here behind and watch at this door so long as he is thus transporting his presents home to you, nor in the meantime will I admit anyone from there to you who may cause you annoyance. Do you go on, just as you please. Are you not diddling these fellows?
How now, Astaphium? Tell me, who is this fellow that's on the road to ruin?
Prithee, were you here?
What? Am I troublesome?
More now than you were. For unless a person is of use to us, he is troublesome to us. But prithee, to lend me your attention, that I may say what I want.
Why, what is it? Does it concern myself?
Not a rap. But what halls he is making present of indoors.
How? Some new lover?
A fresh one, and a brimming treasure she has hit upon.
Who is he?
I'll tell you, but you be mum. Don't you know this Strabax?
Pointing to his father's house.
Why shouldn't I?
He alone rules the roost here at our house. He just now is a landed estate to us. With right good spirit is he wantonly wasting away his property.
He's on the road to ruin. In faith, I too have come to ruin.
You are a simpleton, to expect with words to make undone what is done.
Even Thetis, too, in weeping, made lamentation for her son. Can I not now be admitted indoors to your house?
Why so rather than the captain?
Why, because I've given more.
But you were admitted more when you were giving more. Those who give, in return for that which they give, enjoy our services. You've learnt your letters. Since you know them yourself, let others learn them.
Let them learn, so long as it has allowed me to con my lesson, that I may not forget what I have paid for.
In the meantime, while you, who are a master, shall be conning your lesson, she as well is desirous to con hers.
How so?
In receiving money ever and anon.
For my own part, This very day I gave 5 minae of silver to be carried to her, besides 1 for provisions.
I know that the same was brought. With it we are now enjoying ourselves upon your liberality.
For these enemies of mine here to be devouring my property. By heavens, I'd rather that I were dead than submit to that.
You are a simpleton.
How's that?
Wait.
Why so?
Because, in troth, I'd rather that my enemies should envy me than I my enemies. For to envy, because it goes well with another, and goes badly with yourself, is wretchedness. Those who are envious are in want. They who are envied possess property.
May I not be a partaker of the provisions bought with the mina?
If you wanted to be a partaker, you should have taken half home. For here an account of the receipts is entered just as at Acheron. We take indoors. When it's got by us, it can't be carried out of doors.
Turning on her heel.
Kindly farewell.
Denarchus catching hold of her.
Do stay.
Astaphium struggling.
Oh, let me go. Leave off.
Do let me go in.
Yes, to your own house.
Aye, but here into your house.
You cannot go.
I can very well. Do let me try.
No, wait here. It's sheer violence to try. I'd say that you were here if she wasn't engaged.
Runs to the door.
Ha! Do stop.
It's of no use.
Are you going to return or not?
I'd return, but a voice is calling me that has more influence with me than you have.
In one word I'll say it. You'll receive me.
You were telling a lie. Be off. 1 word you said, but now 3 words have you uttered, and those untrue.
Goes into the house and shuts the door. Denarchus to himself.
She's off, and she's gone hence indoors. That I should endure these things to be done to me. By heavens, entice her with my cries, I'll be exposing you to ridicule in the street. You, who, contrary to law, have received money from many a one. Upon my faith, I'll forthwith cause your name to be before every magistrate, and after that I'll sue you fourfold. You sorceress, you kidnapper of children. By the powers, I'll now disclose all your disgraceful deeds, worthless creature that I am, who have lost everything I had. I'm become desperate, and now I haven't the slightest bit of concern what shoes I wear. But why am I crying here? What suppose she were to order me to be let in? I could swear in solemn form that I wouldn't do it if she wished. It's nonsense. If you thump a goat with your fists, your hands are hurt the most. It's no good to be angry at a thing of nothing, a creature that doesn't value you a straw.
Starting.
But what's this? Oh, immortal gods! I see old Callicles, him who was my connection by marriage, bringing 2 female slaves in bonds. The one the hairdresser of this Phronicium, the other his own servant maid. I'm greatly alarmed, inasmuch as one care has so recently taken possession of my heart. I'm afraid lest all my former misdeeds should be discovered.
Stands aside. Scene 3. Enter Callicles, attended by slaves, with his maidservant and Sirrah bound. Callicles to his servant.
Do I use ill language to you, or do I wish you so very ill? According to my ideas, you have both pretty well experienced how mild and gentle a person I am. I interrogated you both as you were lashed and hanging up by the arms. I well remember it, the way in which you quite confessed each point, I know. Here now, I wish in the same way to learn. Do you confess without a punishment? Although you are both of you of the serpent nature, I tell you beforehand, you mustn't be having double tongues, lest with your 2 tongues I should be putting you to death. Unless perhaps you wish to be taken to the men who go clink, clink.
Violence forces me to confess the truth. The thongs do so gall my arms.
But if you confess the truth to me, you shall be relieved from the chains.
Denarchus apart.
Even now, what's the matter? I'm at a loss to know and uncertain. except that still I'm afraid.
What I've done wrong, I know not.
First of all, then, you stand apart.
They stand apart.
Aye, so that's what I mean, that you mayn't be making signs between you. I'll be a party wall.
To his maidservant.
Speak you.
What am I to speak about?
What was done with the child that my daughter was delivered of? My grandchild, I mean. Tell me the circumstances of the case.
I gave it to her.
Pointing to Sirrah. Callicles to the maidservant.
Now hold your tongue.
To Sirrah.
Did you receive the child from her?
I did receive it.
Callicles to Sirrah.
Hold your tongue. I want no more. You've confessed enough.
I'm not going to deny it.
By this, you've now caused some relief for your shoulder blades. So far, the account of each of them tallies.
Dinarchus apart.
Ah, wretched me! My doings are now being disclosed, which I hoped would be concealed.
Callicles to the maidservant.
Speak, you. Who bade you give the child to her?
My elder mistress.
Callicles to Sirrah.
What say you? Why did you receive it?
My young mistress entreated me that the child might be brought, and that all this might remain secret.
Callicles to Sirrah.
Speak, you. What did you do with this child?
I took it to my mistress.
What did your mistress do with this child?
Gave it at once to my mistress.
Plague on it! To what mistress?
There are two of them.
Callicles to the maid.
Take you care, unless I ask you anything, only to answer that which I ask of you.
The mother, I say, made a present of it to the daughter.
You are saying more than you did just now.
You are asking more.
Answer me quickly. What did she do? To whom it was given? Tell me.
She passed it off as
Whose?
her own son.
As her own son? Ye gods, by my trust in you, I do appeal to you. How much more easily does another than she to whom it belongs bring forth another's child? She, by the labours of another, has brought forth this child without pain. A child blessed indeed. 2 mothers it has got, and grandams too. And now I'm afraid how many fathers there may have been. Do see, please, the shocking deeds of women.
In troth, this fraud relates rather to the men than to the women. 'Twas a man and not a woman that caused her pregnancy.
I know that too. You were a trusty guardian for it.
He can do the most who is strong the most. He was a man. He was the strongest. He prevailed. What he wanted he carried off.
And, i'faith, he too brought a heavy mishap, in fact, upon yourself.
The thing itself experienced, I myself fully know that, even if you had held your tongue.
Never this day have I been able to make you declare who he was.
Maid aside on catching sight of Dinarchus.
I've held my tongue, but now I shan't hold my tongue, since he's here. It's necessary I should tell.
Dinarchus apart.
I'm petrified. In my wretchedness, I dare not move myself. The matter's all out. The trial's now going on here for my life. These are my misdeeds. This is my folly. I'm in dread how soon I may be named.
Callicles to the maidservant.
Speak out. Who was it debauched my maiden daughter?
I see him near you.
Hussy, who was it?
A supporter of the wall.
Dinarchus apart.
I'm neither alive nor dead, nor know I what I am now to do. Neither know I how to go away hence, nor how to accost him. I'm numbed with fear.
Will you tell me, or no?
It is Dinarchus, to whom you first betrothed her.
Callicles looking round.
Where is this person whom you mention?
Dinarchus stepping forward.
Here I am, Callicles.
Falling on the ground.
By your knees, I do entreat you that you will bear with wisdom that which was done in folly, and that you will pardon me that which, losing my senses, I did through the bad influence of wine.
You please me not. You throw the blame on what is dumb, that which cannot speak. But the wine, if it could speak, would defend itself. It's not wine that's in the habit of ruling men, but men wine. Those indeed who are virtuous men, but he who is bad, although he drinks water, or if indeed he abstains from intoxicating liquors, still by nature he's bad.
Well, I'm sensible that many reproaches must be heard by me, which I would prefer not. I confess that I've offended you, and am privy to the crime.
Callicles, prithee beware that you do injury to no person. The accused is pleading his cause at large, the witnesses you are keeping in bonds.
Callicles to his slaves.
Release those women.
They are unbound.
Come.
To each of them in turn.
Do you be off home, and you home as well.
To Syrah.
Tell your mistress this. She must give up the child if anyone asks for it.
Syrah goes into the house of Phronisium, and exit the maidservant.
You, Dinarchus, let's go before the judge.
Why do you wish me to go before the judge? You are the praetor to me. But I entreat of you, Callicles, that you'll give me your daughter for a wife.
I'faith, I find indeed that you've come to a decision on that point yourself. For you haven't waited till I gave her. You have helped yourself. Now, keep her, as you got her, but I'll fine you this grand haul. 6 great talents will I deduct from her dowry for this folly.
You act kindly towards me.
'Twere best for you to demand your son back from thence.
Pointing to the house of Phronisium.
But your wife, as soon as possible, take away from my house. I shall at once, therefore, send a messenger to that kinsman of mine by marriage, and tell him to look out for another match for his son.
Exit. Dinarchus to himself.
But I'll demand back the child of her, lest by and by she should deny it. That's of no use, for she herself, of her own accord, has discovered the whole matter to me, how it happened. But see, right opportunely, in faith, is she coming out of doors from her house. Assuredly, a far-darting sting has that woman, who even from that distance is wounding my heart.
Stands aside. Scene 4. Enter Phronisium and Astaphium from the house of the former. Phronisium to herself.
A woman is a spoony and trolloping slut, if she hasn't a view to her own interest, even in her cups. If her other limbs are soaked in wine, at least let her head be sober. But it's a vexation to me that my hairdresser has been thus badly treated. She has been telling me that this child has been discovered to be the son of Dinarchus. When I heard that...
She moves as if going. Dinarchus apart.
She's going. In whose hands are all my fortune and my children?
Phronisium seeing Dinarchus.
I see him who has constituted me the guardian of his property.
Dinarchus coming forward.
Madam, here am I.
It certainly is he. What's the matter, my love?
No, love, cease your trifling. I've nothing now to do with that subject.
By my faith, I know what you want, and what you desire, and what you ask for. You want to see me. You desire to caress me. You ask for the child.
Dinarchus aside.
Immortal gods, how plain she speaks. How, in a few words, she has hit upon the very point.
As for me, I know that you are betrothed, and that you have a son by your betrothed, and that a wife is now going to be married to you, that now your thoughts are elsewhere, that myself you are going to consider as forsaken. But still consider the little mouse, how sagacious an animal it is, which never entrusts its life to one hole only, insomuch as if one hole is blocked up, it seeks another as a place of refuge.
When there's leisure, then I'll talk to you on those matters more at large. At present, give me up the child.
No, Do. There's a dear. Let it be at my house the few next days.
Certainly not.
Do. There's a dear.
What occasion is there?
It's for my interest. This for the next 3 days at least, until the captain is circumvented somehow, for that same purpose. If I get anything, it shall be for your own advantage as well. If you take the child away, all hope in the captain will evaporate from my heart.
I would have that done. But when it's taken home, to do it again, if I were to wish it, I have not the opportunity. Now make use of the child, and take care of it, because you have the means by which to take care of it.
Upon my faith, I do love you much for this matter. When you shall be afraid of a scolding at home, do you take shelter here in my house. At least, prove a friend to help me to a profitable speculation.
The Narcus moving.
Kindly farewell, Phronisium.
Won't you any longer call me apple of your eye?
That name, too, meanwhile, shall be repeated full oft.
Do you wish for anything else?
Fare thee well. When I have leisure, I'll come to your house.
Exit.
Well, he's gone away from here, and has taken his departure. We may say here whatever we please. 'Tis a true proverb that's quoted. Where the friends are, there are the riches. Through him, there's still some hope that the captain may be duped today, whom by the powers I love better than my own self, so long as I get out of him what I want. Since when we have got much, not much of it is seen that has been given. Such are the brilliant prospects of courtesans.
Hush, hush. Be quiet.
Prithee, what is it?
The father of the child is coming.
Well, let him come here. Let him. If it only is he, let him come himself, straight up to me here just as he chooses. If he does come, for very sure I've faith, I'll do him today with some cunning tricks.
They go into the house. End of Act 4. Act 5 of Truculentus, the Churl, by Titus Macius Plautus. Translated by Henry Thomas Riley. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Act 5, Scene 1. Phronisium and Astaphium appear before the door of the house. Enter Stratophanes. Stratophanes to himself.
That I should love for this. I'm taking an atonement for my offences to my mistress. That may be taken by her in kindly part, which I've squandered before, I'll add this as well. But what's this? I see the mistress and her maid before the house. I must accost her.
Addressing them.
What are you doing here?
Don't speak to me.
You are too angry.
Pats her on the shoulder.
Leave me alone. Can't you possibly cease to be an annoyance to me?
What is the matter, my dear little Astaphium?
I'faith, she's angry with you with good reason.
What? I'm not even half spiteful enough towards that fellow.
My love, if I have at all offended before, I present you with this mina of gold. If you smile upon me, deign me a look.
My hand forbids me to believe anything before it holds in its possession. We require food for the child. We require it for the dame as well that bathes the child. We require it for the nurse as well, that she may have a leather bottle full of old wine, in apple style, that night and day she may tipple. We stand in need of fire. We want coals, too. We want swalls, napkins, the cradle bed. Oil we want. The child requires flour for pap. All day we are wanting something. Never in the same one day can our task be performed. But what there's always need of something, for the children of officers cannot be reeled upon meddlers.
Look upon me, then. Take this.
Presenting the money.
with which to satisfy these necessities.
Phronisium, taking it.
Give it me, although it's very little.
Whatever you shall order shall be given at your demand. Give me a kiss now.
Tries to kiss her.
Leave me alone, I say. You are a nuisance.
Stratophanes aside.
It's no use. I'm not loved by her. The day wears apace. More than 10 pounds of silver have I lost in this short time by reason of my passion.
Phronisium giving the money to Astaphium.
Take this, and carry it away indoors.
Astaphium carries it in. Scene 2. Enter Strabax from the house. Strabax to himself.
Where in the world is my mistress? I get on with no business either in the country or here, at this rate. I'm spoiling with mouldiness. I'm grown so dreadfully numbed with lying waiting here upon the couch. But look, I perceive her. Hello, sweetheart, what are you about?
What fellow is that?
One that upon my honour I love far more than yourself.
Than myself? In what way?
Why, this way, that you are not to be troublesome to me.
Moves as if going.
Are you going now, after you've got the gold?
What you've given me I've put away indoors.
Come here, sweetheart. I've got something to say to you.
Why, I was just coming to you.
To me? My charmer?
In serious truth, I faith.
Although I seem a simpleton to you, I like myself to have a bit of recreation. For pretty though you are so to your own loss, unless I amuse myself a bit with you.
Should you like me to embrace you and give you a kiss?
Do whatever you like. I'll deem it agreeable.
She kisses him.
What, shall I suffer her to be embracing other men before my eyes? I'faith, 'twere better that I were dead. Woman, take your hands off him, unless, perhaps, by this sword of mine, won from the enemy, you wish yourself and him to die.
Flourishing his sword.
There's no use in badinage, Captain. If you want yourself to be loved, with gold, Stratophanes, not with iron, may you prevent him from loving me.
How the plague are you pretty or witty to be fond of a fellow of that description?
Phronisium aside to Stratophanes.
Don't it come to your recollection what an actor once said upon the stage? All people have an eye to their profit, and are not over-delicate.
That you could possibly caress this fellow, so dirty and foul.
Although he is dirty, although he is foul, still, he's pretty to me.
Didn't I give you some gold?
To me? You gave money for the child's food.
Now, if you hope to have her, another mina of gold is requisite.
A sore mishap upon these people, and a weighty one.
By all means, keep that by way of provision for your own journey.
What does she owe you?
3 things.
What, pray?
Perfumes, her favours, and kisses.
Phronisium apart.
He answers him like for like.
To Stratophanes.
But now at all events, if you do love me, do you give me some little trifle from your most abundant treasures.
Do say, there's a dear, what it is that I'm to give you. Only say. If I have it left, you shall have it.
Mere kickshaws you're talking about. Be off. Be off.
Strabax kisses her.
I've considered this over with myself. My good sir, take you care, will you, that she don't inflict a wound upon you, whose teeth are made of iron. She's allowing access to her to all in common. You take your hand off her.
Strabax striking him.
Then, by my troth, do you take that with a hearty punch, warlike man?
I've given her gold.
And I silver.
And I a mantle and a purpled garment.
And I sheep and wool, and many other things that she shall ask for I'll give. 'Twere better for you to contest it with me with minnae rather than menaces.
Upon my faith, you're a funny mortal, my Strabax. Really do proceed.
Aside.
A fool and a madman are contending for their ruin. I'm all right.
Come, Junker, do you offer something first?
Why, no. Do you squander first, then come to ruin?
Stratophanes to Phrenesium.
Well, here's a talent of silver for you. It's in Philippian coins. Take it for yourself.
Phrenesium taking the money.
So much the better. Be one of our family, but live at your own expense.
Stratophanes to Strabax.
Where is that which you are going to give? Open your purse strings.
That's a challenge.
Stratophanes to Strabax.
What are you afraid of?
You are from abroad. I live here.
Points to his father's house.
I am afraid.
I am not. Walk off then.
I'm bringing her some sheep fastened in a purse to my neck.
Because I gave that. How I did flounder the fellow.
Why, no, indeed. It's I who am going to give.
Phrenesium to Stratophanes.
Come indoors now, prithee, and
To Strabax.
do you then stay with me here?
You will give me your company then?
Strabax to Phrenesium.
What say you?
What?
What do you say? What, with this fellow? Am I to be postponed?
I have made my present.
Phrenesium to Stratophanes.
You have given?
Pointing to Strabax.
He's going to give just now. The one I've got, the other I expect. But each of the two shall be indulged to his heart's content.
So be it. As I see the matter stands, there must be taken that's offered.
Indeed, I shall assuredly not be letting you take possession of my couch.
Phrenesium aside.
High faith, I've cleverly netted them, and quite to my satisfaction.
To the audience.
And as I see my affairs successfully managed, yours likewise would I successfully manage. I'll caress you in reality, if you're disposed to be doing anything. Take care, will you, and let me know at once. For the sake of Venus, applaud. This play is in her honor. Spectators, kindly farewell. Grant applause, and then rise up.
End of Act 5. End of Truculentus the Churl by Titus Maccius Plautus, translated by Henry Thomas Riley.